Hello and welcome to Fit Pro Recipes. It's Alan here and I've got a really exciting recipe for you. Exciting because it's one of my favourite foods, but this recipe actually takes one of my favourite foods, which isn't very healthy, and transforms it into something that's not too bad. So this is oven onion bhajis. So it takes out the deep fat frying element, so you can have a healthier Indian onion bhaji. Let's have a look at the ingredients. Here we've got 600 grams of sliced onions, and I've kind of separated them a little bit as well. We've got 150 grams of gram flour, which you can get from supermarkets. It's chickpeas that have been obviously dried and ground. We've then got a teaspoon of sea salt, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of coriander powder, a teaspoon of cumin powder, a teaspoon of turmeric, and a teaspoon of garam masala. Over here we've got a bunch of coriander which I've just chopped, and we've got some curry leaves here which are optional. You can put those in if you want. In fact, any of this is optional here. It just makes it nice and green and gives it extra flavour. So we've also got an egg. That's going to help the consistency of the mixture. So the first step is to take the gram flour and put it into the bowl. And then all I'm going to do is literally add all of the spices and then give it a nice little mix. Okay, so that looks quite well mixed. You can smell the spices have gone into the mixture there. The next step is to take your onions and take the coriander and curry leaves and just throw them in. I'm then going to just mix it a little bit with my hands, so it's just evenly distributed. And then we're going to add the flour. So whack it all in, give it a bit of a stir. And then get your hands in. It's the best way to do it. Give it a really good mix and sort of scrunch it as well, so you encourage the moisture to come out of the onions. Apply some pressure. What you'll find is this flour likes to settle at the bottom, so you'll find some sort of technique of turning, getting it back up and then pressing it. Okay, now don't worry if it looks a little bit dry. It will do, because we haven't put the egg in yet. So when I can get some of this mixture off my hands, I'll put the egg in. Crack the egg in, give it a bit of a stir. And it's starting to be a little bit more moist now, which is what we want. Still see some of that dry mixture down the bottom, so we're going to scoop that up, get that coating on everything, all the onions. Actually smells amazing. It smells like onion bhajis already. Okay, and then what you can do is just assess the mixture and see if it's dry. If it's a bit dry, then all you can do is add a little bit of water. Now, onions vary in their moisture content, so sometimes you get some onions they're really dry, and sometimes you get some onions and they're really moist. So what I suggest is just adding a little bit of water and then giving it a mix. So we're starting to get there now. Every time you make this, you're just going to have to use a little bit of trial and error and add a little bit of the ingredients that you need, whether it's more flour, more water. You might want to try putting another egg in there. But this is looking quite good now. It's feeling, come here, get a close-up. It's feeling like it's starting to form the right sort of consistency, and it sounds like it is as well. So that's it, that's this stage done. So what you're actually going to do is leave that in the fridge overnight, and you're going to cook them tomorrow. So we'll come back and see what they look like tomorrow. Then you want to add about 2 or 3 grams of ghee into a baking tray like this one and put it in the oven for a couple of minutes so it melts. The next step is to add the mixture and then place it in the oven about 180, 190 for about 20-25 minutes, just depends really. You know when they're done because they start to go a nice golden colour. And then serve them with a mint yogurt dip and some coriander.